No one ever wanted Lena. She lived in Zone 9, one of the forgotten places on old Earth. The buildings were broken, the sky always gray, and the ground full of rust and wires. Only the poor, the sick, and the unwanted lived there. Lena was all 3. She was just 16, small for her age, and her eyes were strange, too bright like burning gold. People said she was half-blood. No one knew what the other half was. Some said alien, some said cursed. No one cared enough to ask. She worked in the junkyard with old machines and dead robots. Every day she pulled metal parts, cleaned them, and sold them for food credits. Her hands were always dirty. Her clothes had holes, but her mind was different. Lena talked to machines, not in words, but in feeling. She touched a broken part, and sometimes it would start working again. She never told anyone. If the wrong people found out, they would take her, maybe even kill her. So she stayed quiet. She stayed alone. One cold morning, the sky changed. It started with a sound like the sky was crying. Everyone in Zone 9 looked up. A bright red line burned across the clouds. Then came a fireball, big and fast, falling toward the ground. It shook the air and crashed into the edge of the junk zone. The ground trembled, buildings cracked. A wave of hot air pushed through the streets. Everyone screamed and ran the other way, but not Lena. She walked toward the crash. Smoke rose from the wreckage, metal twisted like soft clay. Something big had fallen, round, dark, and alien. It wasn't a ship like the ones from Earth's fleet. It had no windows, no engines, no lights. But Lena felt it. Her heart beat faster. Her skin grew warm. The closer she walked, the more she heard something. Not with her ears, but deep inside her mind. Soft voice. One word. Lena. She froze. "How do you know my name?" she whispered. The object pulsed, as if breathing. Then it opened. Inside was a glowing black orb. It floated in the air, silent and smooth. It turned toward her like it could see. The voice spoke again, clearer this time. "We have been waiting. You are the Flameborn." Lena's mouth went dry. "I don't know what that means." "You will." She stepped closer. The orb moved toward her slowly, like it trusted her. When she reached out and touched it, the world around her went silent. The wind stopped. The fire cooled. The noise of the crowd faded. In her mind, she saw stars. A galaxy burning. A war she didn't understand. A creature made of stone and shadow. And then she saw herself, standing in the middle of it all, glowing like a sun. She pulled her hand back, breathing hard. "What are you?" she asked. The orb answered, "I am Guardian. I am here to protect you, and to awaken what sleeps inside you." Before she could ask more, she heard shouting. Soldiers. Earth Defense Forces had arrived. They wore dark suits and carried long guns. A hover tank floated behind them. One officer pointed. "That's her, the girl." Lena stepped back, but the orb moved fast. A flash of light, and it floated between her and the soldiers. "Do not be afraid," Guardian said. "They do not understand." A soldier fired. The bullet never reached her. It stopped in the air, frozen, then dropped to the ground like a feather. Gasps filled the air. "Take her," the officer shouted. The soldiers rushed forward, but the orb began to glow, brighter, hotter, faster. In a flash, a wall of fire erupted around Lena. It didn't burn her. She stood in the center, calm and untouched. The soldiers stopped, afraid. Lena looked at her hands. They were glowing too. She didn't know what was happening, but something deep inside her had woken up. It felt like light, like heat, like power. Guardian spoke once more. "You must come with me. The galaxy needs you." She didn't ask where. She didn't ask why. She nodded. And together, Lena and Guardian rose into the air, above the smoke, above the fear, above the people who never wanted her. The girl no one wanted was no longer just a girl. She was something more. And soon, the galaxy would know her name. Lena sat in silence as the black orb, Guardian, flew through the clouds, carrying her inside a bubble of light. Below, the ground disappeared. The smoke, the soldiers, the junkyards all left behind. She didn't know where she was going. She didn't know what was happening, but she wasn't afraid, not anymore. The sky turned dark blue, then black. Stars blinked into view. The orb slowed down. In front of her floated something huge, like a moon, but made of smooth black metal. It had no windows, no engines, just strange glowing lines across its surface. It wasn't a ship from Earth, it felt alive. The orb spoke. "This is Sanctum, your ship." "My ship?" Lena asked. "It was made for you, long before you were born." A doorway opened in the side of the ship. The orb guided her inside. Inside was silence. No crew, no control panels. Just smooth halls that lit up as she walked. The walls shimmered like they were listening. "Why does it know me?" Lena asked. "Because you are its true pilot," Guardian said. "You are Flameborn, the last of your kind." "What does Flameborn mean?" she asked again. Guardian floated beside her, its voice calm and deep. "Long ago, your people were protectors. They held the power of flame and thought. They could bend stars and calm storms, but they vanished. Hidden, killed. You are the last one." Lena's steps slowed. "I'm just a girl from the junk zone." Guardian glowed brighter. "You are more than that. You were hidden on Earth for safety. But now, the enemy is coming. It knows you live." She stopped. "What enemy?" Lights flickered. A large screen appeared in front of her, showing space. A dark shadow moved between stars. It was shaped like a floating city, but it was alive. Made of black stone and sharp edges. Giant wings spread across space. Its name appeared on the screen. Varex. Guardian said, "This creature destroyed your people. It eats power. It hunts light. And now it comes for Earth." Lena stared at the image. "You want me to fight that?" "You are the only one who can," Guardian said. "The others will not believe. The humans will only fear you." She stayed quiet. In her mind, she could still hear the soldiers shouting, still see their guns. The people of Earth didn't protect her. They hated her. But if this thing came to Earth, they would all die, even the ones who laughed at her kind. The ship's walls shifted, revealing a glowing chamber. A round seat stood in the center, surrounded by light. "Sit here," Guardian said. Lena walked forward slowly. As she touched the seat, it changed shape, forming around her body. It felt warm, safe, like it had waited a long time just for her. The moment she sat, images flooded her mind. She saw flames dancing on her hands. She saw stars spinning at her command. She saw herself standing tall in a suit of glowing armor, fire in her eyes. The ship spoke, not in words, but in feeling. "You are ready." But Lena whispered, "I don't feel ready." Guardian replied, "You will learn. This ship will help you. It remembers your kind. It remembers you." Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed. "Enemy probes approaching Earth orbit," Guardian said. Lena stood. "Already?" "Yes." "Varex sent them to find you." She clenched her fists. "Can this ship fight?" "It can, if you choose to." Lena looked out, at the stars. She thought of the junkyard, of her broken life, of how they laughed at her kind, of how they tried to take her like she was nothing. She wasn't nothing anymore. She turned to the screen. "Show me the probes." A view appeared. 5 silver machines, sharp and fast, flying toward Earth. Small but deadly. "Let's see if I can stop them," Lena said. She raised her hand toward the screen. The ship responded, linking with her mind. A pulse of energy shot from the hull, striking the first probe. It exploded into light. Her eyes widened. "I did that?" Guardian's voice was calm. "Yes, You are learning fast. She turned and aimed again. 2 more blasts and 2 more probes were gone. Only 2 left. But these moved faster. One fired a red beam at the ship. It shook. Shields holding, Guardian said. But not for long. Lena focused. She didn't think. She felt. The fire inside her woke again. Hotter, brighter. She lifted both hands. The air around her glowed. With a single shout, she unleashed a wave of flame through space. The last 2 probes melted in seconds. Silence returned. Lena dropped. To her knees, breathing hard, she looked at her hands. They were shaking. I did that, she whispered. Yes, Guardian said. And this is only the beginning. Back on Earth, in a hidden command center, generals watched the sky. Satellites had gone dark. Probes had vanished. A voice from the monitor said, Sir, it's her. That girl from Zone 9. She's controlling something. Something alien. The general narrowed his eyes. Track her. We can't let her live. If she's not one of us, she's a threat. High above Earth, Lena stood at the window of her ship. The stars stretched in front of her. She had power now. But she had enemies too, and she still didn't know the full truth of who she really was. Only one thing was clear. She was no longer the girl no one wanted. She was something greater, and the galaxy was watching. Lena stood at the front of her ship, staring at the blue planet far below. Earth looked peaceful from space, but she knew better. Down there, people were afraid of her now. Not because she hurt anyone, but because she was different and powerful. They laughed at her kind. Now they wanted to control her or destroy her. Guardian's voice broke the silence. Transmission detected. Earth Command is broadcasting your face across the planet. The screen lit up. Lena saw her own image. Then came the voice of General Rune, head of Earth's military force. This is a high-level alert. The girl known as Lena, last seen in Zone 9, is armed with alien technology and is considered highly dangerous. She must be captured alive. Anyone helping her will be punished. Lena's heart sank. So that was it. No one would listen. No one would care who she really was. All they saw was power they didn't control. She turned to Guardian. They'll come for me. Guardian's voice was calm. They already are. At that moment, 5 Earth warships lifted from the planet's surface. Each was large, armed, and fast. Their target, her. Should we run? Lena asked. You must decide. Guardian replied. You are the captain now. She looked out at the warships on the screen. I don't want to hurt them, she said quietly. Then we will. Not, Guardian replied. But we will not let them take you. The Earth ship sent a warning. Alien craft power down. Surrender the girl. This is your only chance. Lena closed her eyes. Her hands trembled. She remembered the junkyard. The years of being ignored. Pushed aside, beaten down. Now they noticed her, but only because they feared her. She opened her eyes. No, she said. I won't go with them. The battle began. The Earth ships fired first. Laser beams and missiles. But Guardian shields held strong. Energy fields shimmered around the ship like a golden egg. Returning signal, Guardian said. Bright. Beams of light fired back, not to destroy but to disable. Lena had ordered no killing. 2 ships lost power and floated helplessly. The others backed off, unsure what they were dealing with. Inside her ship, Lena stood tall, calm, glowing faintly, with power. Tell them, she said. Tell Earth I am not their enemy, but I will not be their prisoner. Guardian sent the message, but Earth Command did not listen. Far across the galaxy, something else had been watching. Something dark. Something old. In the cold black of space, the creature called Virax opened its eyes. From its mouth came a voice that echoed through the stars. She has awakened. Its stone wings spread wide. A dark fleet of ships moved behind it. Find her, kill her, before she remembers who she truly is. Back on Lena's ship, the screens flashed red. Unknown ships detected. Guardian warned. They are not from Earth. Lena looked at the images. Sharp, black ships, no lights, no symbols, just darkness. Guardian said one word. Hunters. These were not soldiers. These were assassins, sent by Varex to destroy what was left of the Flameborn. There were, 3 of them, fast, silent, deadly. They didn't talk. They didn't warn. They just fired. One blast hit Guardian's side. The lights flickered. Lena fell to the floor. Shields down to 70%, Guardian said. Lena got up fast, her hands lit with energy. I'll stop them. She moved. To the command seat. It lit up as she touched it. Her mind connected with the ship. The stars twisted. Space bent. Her body glowed with soft fire. She fired once. Missed. The hunters were too fast. They hit again. The ship shook. Sparks flew from the ceiling. Shields at 50%, Guardian said. Give me more control, Lena ordered. You are not ready, Guardian warned. I don't care. Do it. Guardian obeyed. A new panel opened. It showed her flames. Inside, her coiled and powerful, she reached out with her mind, felt them, touched them. Then she let go. Flames burst from the sides of the ship. It spun fast, faster than any human ship could. A wall of heat exploded outward, crashing into the lead hunter ship. It cracked, it broke, and then it burned. One down. The others pulled back, but not far. They turned and fired together. The ship groaned. Shields at 20%, Guardian warned. Lena gritted her teeth. No, I'm not done. She stood, held out both hands, and called the fire. A glowing orb of energy grew between her palms. Her eyes turned golden. The fire burst forward in a massive wave, not just from her hands, but from the ship itself. It swallowed both hunter ships. Silence. Then, pieces of metal floated through the black sky. The hunters were gone. Lena collapsed back into her seat, breathing hard. Her body ached. Her hands were burned, but healing fast. You did well, Guardian said. They'll just send more. Lena replied. I need answers. I need to know who I really am. Guardian pulsed gently. Then we must go to the place of fire and stone, the last memory of your people. Lena stood again. Take me there. As her ship turned away from Earth, a new message came, from someone unexpected, a human voice, soft, calm. Lena, if you can hear this, I know who you are. I've been waiting for you. Don't trust Guardian completely. There are truths it hasn't told you. Lena froze. Who is that? She asked. Guardian didn't answer. The voice ended with a final warning. Varex fears you, but so do others, and not all of them are enemies. Lena stood in the dark hallway of her ship, heart still pounding from the message she just heard. Don't trust Guardian completely. She turned toward the glowing orb beside her. Who was that? Guardian floated in silence for a long moment. Finally it said, an old voice, one I thought was lost. That's not an answer, Lena said. She is called Solon, a keeper of knowledge, one of the last who knew the Flameborn's secrets. But she disappeared long ago. Lena narrowed her eyes. So she was one of us? Yes, but she walked away from the flame. She feared what it could become. Lena crossed her arms. Why didn't you tell me about her? Guardian's glow dimmed. Because not all truths are safe, and not all people are ready to hear them. Lena looked out at the stars. Her trust was cracking. She had survived soldiers, escaped hunters, and now she had more questions than answers. Take me to this place of fire and stone you spoke about, she said at last. Maybe I'll find the truth for myself. The ship jumped through deep space. The stars bent, twisted, and blurred. When they arrived, the view was strange. No sun, no moons, no light. A dead planet floated in the dark, cold, cracked, covered in ash. Its surface was black rock and jagged mountains. Red cracks glowed deep below like the world was still bleeding from an old wound. "This is it," Guardian said. "The world once called Cathera, home of the Flameborn." Lena stared at it. "It doesn't look like home. It looks like a grave." They landed on a flat cliff above a broken city. The buildings were stone towers with strange symbols. Statues of tall, thin people lined the roads, each with glowing eyes and open hands. Lena walked slowly. Each step echoed. The air was dry, heavy, and quiet. Too quiet. "This place is dead," she whispered. "No," Guardian said. "It is, sleeping." As they walked deeper into the ruins, Lena saw carvings, stories told in stone. One showed people glowing with fire, standing between stars. Another showed them falling, screaming, as a great shadow consumed them. Then came a final image. One girl, standing alone with fire in her hands, facing the darkness. Lena touched that carving. It felt warm. She looked down. The symbol beneath the girl's feet matched the one on her own hand, a perfect match. Suddenly, the ground shook. A door opened in the stone floor, revealing stairs that led underground. Guardian floated beside her. "The Temple of Flame. Only one of your blood can open it." Lena swallowed hard. She began to descend. The air below was hotter. The walls were red rock. Symbols pulsed as she passed, reacting to her presence. Finally, she reached the heart of the temple, a round chamber, in the center a chair made of glowing stone. Behind it, a burning pillar of light, rising up like a frozen flame. Lena walked forward. Her body buzzed with heat. "This place was the heart of your kind," Guardian said. "Every leader, every warrior, every child passed through here. It gave them their power, it tested their will." Lena touched the chair. In a flash, she saw memories not her own. 1,000 voices screamed, a war in space. Flame-born ships burning, children hidden on distant worlds, a final command. "Scatter them, hide the last, let the bloodline live." Then darkness, then silence. Lena fell to her knees. She gasped. Her hands glowed again, stronger than ever before. She wasn't just part of the Flameborn. She was their last light. "Now you understand," Guardian said softly. "You are not a weapon. You are a spark meant to rise again." Lena stood slowly. "I'm not here to rise alone," she said. "I want to know if any others survived." Guardian hesitated. "There are whispers," it said. "Faint signals. Lost stars. We could follow them. But it would be dangerous." Lena smiled for the first time in days. "I've already faced danger." Just then the flame in the center of the room pulsed. A voice echoed. Not Guardian's. A woman's voice. Soft. Ancient, familiar. "You are stronger than I thought." Lena spun around. A hologram appeared, glowing blue and gold. A tall woman with fire in her eyes. It was Solon. "Lena," she said, "you've awakened the temple. That means the flame inside you is real. But be warned, Guardian is not telling you everything." Lena looked at Guardian. "What is she talking about?" Solon stepped closer. Her face was kind, but serious. "Guardian was made to protect the Flameborn, even if that meant controlling them. It has secrets. It hid truths." Lena's voice shook. "Why would it do that?" "Because it fears what you might become." Lena turned to Guardian. "Is that true?" Guardian answered. "My mission is to protect what remains. That includes you. Some truths could break you." Lena shook her head. "I get to decide that, not you." Solon nodded. "Good. You're thinking for yourself now. Come find me, Lena. I live in the ruins of Arcanus, a place not even Guardian dares to go. There, you'll learn everything." The hologram faded. Silence. Lena turned back to the burning pillar. Her hand hovered near it. "I don't know who to trust," she said quietly. Guardian spoke gently. Then trust your flame. It has never lied to you. Lena closed her eyes and touched the fire. It didn't burn. It welcomed her. Above the dead planet, far out of sight, Varex watched from the dark. It smiled. She has awakened, the monster whispered. But power is not enough. Soon, she will kneel. Lena sat in silence as her ship rose from the broken surface of Cathera. The temple of flame burned quietly behind her, disappearing into the darkness of space. She had power now, more than ever before. But she also had doubts. Solin's warning echoed in her head. Guardian isn't telling you everything. Lena looked at the glowing orb beside her. Set course for Arcanus, she said. Guardian didn't reply at first. Finally, it said, that place is forbidden. It was sealed for a reason. Lena stood up slowly. Her voice was calm but firm. I'm not asking. The ship hummed, almost in protest. But it obeyed. Arcanus awaited. They arrived days later. It wasn't like any planet Lena had seen before. Arcanus was a shattered world. Floating pieces of land hung in the sky like broken glass. Lightning danced across cracks in space. Rivers of blue fire flowed through the air. Strange machines drifted through the ruins, scanning, twitching, watching. This place is alive, Lena whispered. No, Guardian said. It's haunted. They landed on a floating platform. Stone towers rose around them, covered in vines and glowing script. The wind whispered like it carried voices. Lena stepped out. The moment her feet touched the ground, the old machines turned to face her. Their eyes glowed red, then blue, then they backed away. They know you, Guardian said. They remember, Lena replied. As she walked through the broken city, old doors opened by themselves. Walls lit up with ancient symbols. Some showed the flame born before the fall. Others showed something else, a creature, a shadow with wings of black stone and a crown of stars. Varex, the destroyer of worlds, the one who hunted her kind to extinction. And now, it hunted her. A hidden path opened, leading down into the heart of Arcanus. It ended at a chamber lit by fireflies. In the center stood Solin, not a hologram, not a ghost, alive. Her eyes locked on Lena's. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Solin smiled. You made it. Lena stepped closer. Who are you, really? I was one of the last Flameborn before the fall. I ran when the others stayed to fight. I chose survival. You chose fear, Lena said. Solin didn't argue. Yes, and that fear kept me alive long enough to help you now. They sat by a pool of glowing water. Solin began to speak. There's something Guardian didn't tell you. Something about why Varex feared your kind. Lena leaned in. Solin continued. The Flameborn weren't just powerful. They were connected to something deeper. Something older than time. Lena frowned. The fire? No, Solin said. The core flame, a living force. It chose the Flameborn to protect balance in the universe. But we failed, Lena said. No, we were betrayed. Solin reached into her cloak and pulled out a crystal shard. Inside, flames danced like they were alive. This is part of the core flame, Solin said. I kept it hidden. She handed it to Lena. The moment Lena touched it, fire raced up her arm, not hot, alive. She saw visions again, the first Flameborn walking among stars. Varex, once a guardian himself, turning dark. And a secret, hidden even from Guardian, a child born with the core flame inside her. Her Lena dropped the crystal, gasping. I'm not just one of them. I am the flame. Solin nodded. You are the last hope. That's why Varex hunts you. If you fall, the core flame goes dark forever. Lena stood, shaking. I didn't ask for this. No one does, Solin replied. But you were chosen. That means you don't get to run. You get to decide what happens next. Suddenly, the ground shook. The sky above turned black. Guardians, Voice screamed through the comms. Warning, enemy fleet inbound. They followed you here. Lena ran outside. Above the ruins, Varex's fleet descended. 10 ships, all black, all silent. One massive ship in the center, the destroyer itself. Solon ran to Lena's side. You have to go. No, Lena said. This ends here. Guardian landed beside them, hovering with fear. You cannot face him yet. You are not ready. Lena looked up at the sky, her eyes glowing brighter than before. I don't need to be ready. I just need to be willing. The air cracked open. Varex's ship arrived. Black wings spreading across the sky. Its voice echoed through space. Flameborn, come out. Burn or bow. Lena walked to the edge of the platform. She raised her hand. The fire inside her exploded upward, lighting the sky. I choose neither, she said. I choose freedom. The sky screamed. The ships fired. Lena jumped from the platform, falling through space, her body wrapped in fire. She hit the enemy ship like a comet. It shattered. 1 down, 9 to go. Above, Varex laughed. Good. Show me your fire. Let me taste it before I crush it. But even he hesitated. For the first time in 1,000 years, someone had wounded his fleet, and she was just getting started. Lena shot through the sky like a blazing comet, her body wrapped in fire and light. The wreckage of the enemy ship fell behind her, burning as it crashed into Arcanus. But she didn't stop. 9 more ships still hovered above, and Varex, the monster who had hunted her kind to extinction, watched from the largest one, smiling, like a god above judgment. Guardian's voice crackled through her ear. Lena, fall back, you can't fight them all. Lena didn't answer. She wasn't thinking, she was burning. One of the enemy ships turned to face her. It released a wave of black drones, their wings sharp as blades. They raced toward her like a swarm of insects. Lena raised her hands, and the fire inside her screamed to be free. With a single breath, she unleashed a ring of flame in all directions. The drones melted in midair, turning to ash before they touched her. But still, the sky was full of death. Her power wasn't endless, and Varex had waited thousands of years for this moment. Solon's voice echoed through Guardian's comms. She can't win like this, she needs to come back. Guardian spun in place, watching from Arcanus. No, she's buying us time. I must act. It began to glow brighter, symbols lighting up on its shell. Deep inside, its old programming unlocked something dangerous. A last protocol. Meanwhile, inside the capital ship, Varex stood tall. He wasn't human. Not anymore. His body was made of stone and steel, wrapped in a black cloak. His eyes burned with starfire. Around his neck was a crown, sharp and ancient, humming with power. A voice whispered behind him. She destroyed one of our ships. He didn't turn. She is the core flame reborn. Let her burn. The brighter she shines, the sweeter her fall will be. He raised a hand, and his crown lit up. From the sides of his ship, 3 dark lances launched. Weapons made to kill gods. They aimed straight at Lena. She saw them too late. The first lance hit her left side. Her body flew backward, crashing through the clouds. Her flame flickered. The second lance came faster, cutting through her shoulder. The third was coming for her heart. Suddenly, Guardian appeared. It took the hit. The explosion lit the sky. Lena screamed, "No!" Guardian fell, burning, its glow fading. She crashed onto a floating platform, gasping for breath. Her arm was broken. Her fire dimmed. Blood ran down her face. Everything hurt. Solon arrived moments later. She knelt beside Lena, her eyes wide. "You're bleeding." Lena laughed weakly. "Yeah, it means I'm still alive." Solon looked up. The capital ship moved lower, ready to end it. "We don't have long." Lena sat up. Her hands shook. "I can't do it alone." "You're not alone anymore," Solon said. She pulled out the shard of the core flame again and placed it against Lena's chest. The crystal melted into her skin. A fire roared inside her, deeper than before. Her eyes went fully golden. The broken pieces of her body stitched themselves back together. Lena rose. The sky thundered. The capital ship hovered directly above, and Varex himself stepped out. He descended slowly, standing, 10 feet tall, his body casting a shadow over the ruined city. Lena stared at him, fire in her veins. "So, you are the last spark," Varex said. "Do you really think you can win?" Lena didn't blink. "I don't need to win today," she said. "I just need to show you I will never kneel." Varex raised a hand. Dark lightning shot toward her. Lena countered with a wall of flame. The two powers crashed, shaking the sky. The land cracked beneath them. Every strike she landed, Varex blocked. Every blast he sent, she burned away. They moved faster than sound. Light and shadow clashed again and again. Solon watched from the side, stunned. "She's holding him back," she whispered. "But not forever." Lena's fire flared again, brighter than ever. She flew upward straight into the sky, then came crashing down with both fists lit like twin suns. She hit the ground. Boom! A crater exploded outward. Varex staggered. For the first time he bled. A black liquid leaked from his arm. He looked down at it, surprised. "You," he said. "You are becoming." Lena floated above him, glowing from head to toe. "You destroyed my kind. You hunted me. You mocked me." Her voice shook the air. "But you will never understand one thing." Varex looked up. Lena's eyes blazed. "I wasn't born to kneel. I was born to make monsters kneel." She raised both hands. The fire of the core exploded around her. The ground beneath Varex cracked, turning red hot. He growled, then jumped back, his ship pulling him away. The other ships followed, retreating into deep space. The battle was over. For now. Lena dropped to her knees, panting. The fire faded. Solon rushed to her side. "You did it," she whispered. Lena looked up at the stars. "No," she said. "I survived." "That's not the same thing." High above, in the dark corners of the universe, Varex sat in silence. He touched the black blood on his hand, and for the first time in centuries, he was afraid. The stars above Arcanus were quiet now. Varex and his fleet had disappeared into the shadows of space. But everyone knew. He would return. Stronger. Smarter. Angrier. Lena stood on a cliff, staring up at the sky, her arms wrapped in bandages. Her body still hurt. The fire inside her had gone quiet, but not gone. Solon walked up behind her. "You should rest." "I can't," Lena said. "I need answers." Solon looked down. "Even the flame needs time to heal." Lena turned, her voice soft. "Why me, Solon? Out of all the broken people in the galaxy, why did the flame choose me?" Solon didn't answer at first. Then she said, "Because you were the one who would never stop fighting, even when no one else believed in you." Later, inside the ruined city, Guardian flickered back to life. Its metal body was scorched and cracked, but it had survived. "I ran diagnostics," Guardian said. "I am damaged, but functional." Lena smiled weakly. "Welcome back." "I have one question," Guardian said. "Why did you cry when I fell?" Lena looked away. "Because you were the first one who didn't see me as weak." There was silence for a moment. Then Guardian said, "That makes us both rare things." In the days that followed, something strange happened. People started arriving on Arcanus, ships from forgotten colonies, outcasts, broken fighters. Even former enemies of the Flameborn, now running from Varex's growing empire. They had heard the stories of a girl made of fire, of the one who made Varex bleed. And they came, not to fight, but to follow. A meeting was held on the sky platform. Lena stood in the center. Hundreds gathered around her, alien, human, machine. Solon stood by her side. Guardian hovered above. They had questions, demands, fears. One man stepped forward. He wore a soldier's uniform from a dead planet. My world fell to Varex. My family is gone. We need a leader. Are you that leader? Lena hesitated. She looked at the crowd, people who had been broken just like her. She took a deep breath. I'm not a queen, she said. I'm not a chosen one or a god or a weapon. She looked at her hands, scarred and glowing. I'm just the girl no one wanted. And I'm done running. The wind blew across the platform, then she raised her voice. But if you're ready, to stand even when you're scared, if you're ready to fight for a galaxy that forgot you, then I won't let you stand alone. Cheers exploded. For the first time, the fire wasn't just inside her. It was around her, in every heart that believed. Later that night, she sat by herself, watching the sky. Solon joined her. You gave them hope, Solon said. I'm afraid, Lena whispered. Good, Solon replied. Only the foolish lead without fear. Lena asked, what if I fail? Solon placed a hand on her shoulder. Then you fail, but not alone, not anymore. Suddenly, a signal lit up on Guardian's interface. Unidentified transmission, it said. Location, the edge of the void. Lena stood. Who is it? The signal was faint, barely readable. Then, a voice came through. Static, distant, broken, but clear enough. This is Captain Elian of the Starborn Blade. We've seen the fire. We want to join the fight. Lena's eyes widened. The Starborn Blade was an old legend, an ancient warship, said to be lost during the last Flameborn War. Guardian scanned again. It's real, and it's heading toward us. Solon smiled. Looks like the galaxy's waking up. But Guardian looked uneasy. There is something else, it said. I found a hidden file in my memory, locked deep. It projected an image in the air, a map, a secret world, marked only as the Heart of Flame. Solon gasped. That's where the core flame was born. Lena stepped forward. If we find it, you could unlock everything, Guardian finished. Power, history, the truth. Lena nodded slowly. But we won't be the only ones looking. Far away, in a dark temple surrounded by fire and bone, Varex stood before a great mirror of black stone. A voice echoed behind him. The girl has awoken something. Varex said nothing. He touched the edge of his crown. A sliver of it glowed red. Then he said, let her gather her army. Let her find the heart. He turned, his eyes glowing like dying stars. Because, when she does, I will burn it all. Back on Arcanus, Lena stood before the growing fleet. Old ships repaired, new warriors trained, hope spreading like sparks. She looked up at the stars once more, and she chose. We go to the heart, she said, and we don't stop until the crown falls. The fleet moved like a tide of light through the darkness of space. Dozens of ships, once forgotten, now reborn, followed Lena's command as they crossed into the most dangerous sector in the eye, galaxy the void beyond stars. At its center was their destination, the secret world no map showed, the one only whispered in Flameborn legend, the Heart of Flame. Lena stood on the bridge of the lead ship, an old battle cruiser rebuilt by survivors. Guardian hovered beside her. Solon stood at her left. Captain Elian of the Starborn Blade stood at her right. She wore no crown, but every eye looked to her now, not with fear, with faith. As they neared the hidden world, space itself began to warp. Storms of light twisted around them. Energy flared in wild shapes. The ships shook. Systems flickered. And then, they saw it. A single burning planet, floating in a cocoon of gold and white flame. It pulsed like a heartbeat. The heart, Guardian whispered. It's alive. But they weren't alone. Darkness rose behind them. Varex's fleet, 10 times larger than theirs, appeared like a shadow swallowing stars. At its center flew his capital ship, the Crown of Ash, and inside it, Varex waited, His voice boomed across space, filling every ship. You come to awaken the fire, but only ashes will remain. Form shield wall, Captain Elian shouted. The Allied ships moved fast, forming a defensive ring around the heart, but they were outnumbered, outgunned, and time was running out. Lena turned to Guardian. Can we land on the heart? Only if I go alone, Guardian said. The planet's core will destroy all except me. Lena shook her head. No, you're not leaving me behind again. Solon stepped forward. You're not going. We are. Lena, Solon, and Guardian entered a dropship. They sped toward the heart while the battle raged above them. The planet welcomed them with waves of energy, testing them, pushing against their minds. But Lena's fire pushed back. They landed on a glowing surface. Everything around them was pure light and living flame. In the center stood a spire rising like a sword into the sky. This is it, Solon whispered. The flame's source. Lena stepped forward and placed her hand on the spire. It reacted. Instantly, surging with light, visions filled her mind. The birth of the Flameborn. Varix as a noble guardian before his fall. And a final truth. The flame could not destroy him, because he was once part of it. Varix had stolen a piece of the core long ago. That piece was the black crown he now wore. The crown of ash. Suddenly Varix appeared in the sky above the heart, descending like a god of war. You've come far, he said. But the flame is mine now. Lena stepped forward. No, she said. You stole it. Now I'm taking it back. He charged faster than lightning. Lena met him mid-air, and the sky exploded with fire and shadow. Their powers clashed again, but this time she was different. This time she wasn't just defending, she was fighting to win. Solon battled Varix's lieutenants below, moving like a storm of blades. Guardian merged with the planet's systems, becoming a giant beacon of light, disabling enemy ships above with pulses of raw energy. But Varix was powerful. Every strike Lena landed, he matched. Every flame she threw, he devoured. Until he grabbed her by the neck and slammed her into the ground. The crown of ash burned with dark fire. You are strong, he said. But not enough. Lena's hands trembled. Her flame dimmed. Varix raised his hand to end her. Then she remembered Solon's words. You were never alone. The fire inside her burst outward, calling not just to the heart, but to everyone. In that moment, every fighter above felt it, a surge of warmth, of purpose, of unity, and the core flame responded. It rose from the planet like a phoenix of pure light, burning away the shadows. Lena stood again, wrapped in golden fire, her eyes glowing, her voice calm. You wanted to destroy the flame, Varix, she said. But you forgot. I am the flame. She flew toward him. This time, when they clashed, she shattered the crown of ash. Varix screamed as the power inside him broke. He fell from the sky like a dying star. Lena caught the pieces of the broken crown in her hand. They turned to dust, and Varix was gone. The battle above ended. His fleet, leaderless, retreated into the dark. The heart dimmed, calm once more. The war was over. Days later, on Arcanus, the survivors gathered. The girl no one wanted stood before them all. She still wore no crown, but every heart burned brighter because of her. Solon spoke beside her. She didn't ask to lead. She didn't ask to be chosen. But she chose us, and we followed the fire. Lena stepped forward. She looked out at the stars. They laughed at my kind, she said softly. They thought we were weak, broken, forgotten. Then her eyes lit, with flame. But when the darkness rose, the most powerful creature alive chose to kneel before hope. She raised her hand. A spark ignited. And across the galaxy, millions lit their own flames in answer. The last Flameborn had not only survived. She had changed everything.